Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. Global oil prices are surging as Middle East tensions escalate, triggering sharp volatility amid uncertainty over the Strait of Hormuz, a key global supply route. According to Bloomberg on Monday, Brent crude briefly rose above $114 a barrel while WTI topped 100, as Trump warned Iran to reopen the passage. The International Energy Agency, speaking via AFP, warned that the crisis could rival past global energy shocks, with an official from South Korea's industry ministry saying the pace of price increases is steeper than during the 2022 start of the war in Ukraine. While Seoul says supplies will remain stable for now with alternative imports and reserve releases, rising naphtha costs are raising fears of industrial disruption if the conflict drags on. The South Korean won closed at 1,517.3 against the US dollar on Monday, finishing above the 1,510 won mark for the first time in 17 years. This depreciation stems from extreme volatility gripping global financial markets. Following Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz and a 48-hour ultimatum issued by US President Donald Trump, international oil prices have surged, leading to investors turning to safe haven assets. In fact, the dollar index climbed back toward the 100 mark. The benchmark Kospi also took a hit, closing at 5,405.75, down 6.49% from the previous closing. The steep decline prompted authorities to activate a sell sidecar early in the session to temporarily halt program trading. Foreign investors led the exodus, offloading trillions of won in local shares. President Lee Jae-myung has again underscored the importance of strong self-reliant defense capabilities. He presided over the first Central Integrated Defense Council meeting of his administration at the Blue House on Monday. The council convenes officials from the government, the military, and the civilian sector to assess the country's defense readiness and review key policy outcomes. Under South Korean law, it must meet at least once a year. There, President Lee described self-reliant defense as the key to South Korea's defense system, citing an increasingly complex and rapidly changing geopolitical environment. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has been reappointed president of the State Affairs Commission during the first session of the regime's rubber stamp parliament following last month's ruling party Congress. The Korean Central News Agency said on Monday that the decision was made on the opening day of the 15th Supreme People's Assembly session. At the same meeting, senior aide Jong-un was elected chairman of the Assembly's Standing Committee, the regime's top parliamentary post, replacing Choi Dong-hae. North Korea usually convenes a parliamentary session after a party congress to formalize laws and policies needed to implement key decisions adopted at the gathering. BTS has set a new milestone with its fifth album Arirang surpassing 4 million sales within just 3 days of its release. The Arirang album sold more than 4,006,600 copies, achieving BTS's highest sales record within the first week of release. According to Spotify, the album's lead track Swim ranked number 1 on the daily chart for 2 consecutive days, following its release on Friday. Another track, Body to Body, claimed the second spot. Riding strong momentum across both streaming and physical sales, Swim also ranked first on the daily charts of major Korean music platforms. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.